What's up, Collector Squad? We are back with another Collector Chat Squad Goals number 2. And today we're going to be discussing some fun stuff. We're going to be going into the new Suicide Squad trailer, which we are really excited about this movie. We're going to talk about a few collectibles that have kind of been announced or are coming out in the past couple of weeks. So we want to kind of talk about those. And then we're going to talk about one of our favorites, Borderlands, the movie.
We didn't plan this, guys.
Yeah,
this is not planned.
It was not planned, but you know what? We're excited about it. It's still a ways off, but we want to kind of talk about some of the casting decisions that have already been made. We're getting excited. So, diving in here, we're starting with the Suicide Squad trailer. What'd you think?
Oh, man. Oh, well, number one, it's James Gunn, which my favorite Marvel thing is Guardians of the Galaxy. So seeing him get to take this group, who's even crazier than the Guardians of the Galaxy, and direct this movie, I'm lost for words right now. I can't tell you how excited I am. And some of these castings are absolutely brilliant. Michael Rooker is one of my favorite actors when it comes to any comic book movie, and seeing him, he's going to be Savant. Don't know a lot about that character, but it's Michael Rooker, so I'm going to be pumped for that character for sure. How about you?
I'm excited. I think that this will actually be our third movie, or I guess fourth movie technically, because you get the one scene with Harley. And I'm drawing a blank. What movie is that where she gets the one scene? Is that Batman versus Superman? Like the flashback?
Oh, when he's
in the
arresting
car,
him.
in the car. Yeah. So this is
yeah.
actually, I guess, technically the fourth movie she's going to be in, but. Such a good casting with Margot Robbie. I think she does a really great job of playing the part. I wasn't the biggest fan of like her individual movie. It was okay. And then the Suicide Squad movie I thought was casted really well, the first one. But just the villain and everything didn't really work, the plot and stuff like that. I wasn't a huge fan of that. But again, I think she's a great Harley. From the trailer, it looks like she's got some nice quotes and funny things that she's going to be doing again as usual. So very excited about that. Bloodsport with Idris Elba, I think that's going to be a really cool casting. Again, don't know a whole lot about that character. I've read a few of the Suicide Squad comics, but interested to see how he does. I think he'll do great. And then we've got some nice returning cast, too, from the original movie. And then again, like Drew said, with James Gunn running the show, I think it's going to be really good. And then we got a nice surprise today.
Huge surprise.
With King Shark. So we it's like we knew he was in the movie, but didn't really know like who the actor was or who was voicing him. Sylvester Stallone is King Shark. So that was so cool to hear. Everybody seemed really excited about that. And King Shark is a very cool character. I do know quite a bit about him just from comics and the Flash TV show and stuff like that, where he's kind of made some appearances. And so I think that's going to be a really cool casting there and a really fun character. He looks like he's going to be kind of funny too, and have some pretty gruesome parts in the movie as well. So I think it's going to be a really fun, just kind of crazy show the entire time. So
for sure. I think I'm always excited about movies like this. It's kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy. A lot of people, when they became Marvel fans, when all these movies just started getting pumped out, didn't know who they were. I didn't know who they were.
No, I didn't either.
And now they're like one of my favorites. And I think this movie is going to kind of do something similar. So we know who some of these people are. But I mean, we're on IMDb right now, looking at all these. And I'm seeing so many of these good actors portraying characters that I know nothing about. But that kind of makes it exciting. That opens up this whole comic book universe. Super excited. I mean, we've got Nathan Fillion, I think that's how you say his name. He's a big actor in a lot of TV shows. He's playing TDK. We've got Pete Davidson. He swoons the ladies a lot in some of his young guy movies. He's Blackguard. We got John Cena as the Peacemaker.
Looks like he's going to be pretty fun.
Oh, it's going to be great. And then Alice Braga as Sol Soria, another character I don't know a lot about. I mean, and then Michael Rooker's right there with him as Savant. That's 5 characters right there, guys, that I know absolutely nothing about, if I'm being completely honest. But that's really cool that this movie is going to bring a lot of these characters light, give them attention. We're probably going to see more comic books produced because of this. I mean, it's just... And the list goes on. We've got... I'm not even going to try to say that dude's last name.
Polka Dot Man.
We'll call him David D. He's a Polka Dot Man. Yeah. We got Sean Gunn as Weasel. James Gunn, I think, didn't we talk about this last time? It's his brother, right?
Yeah.
Who is picking up Michael Rooker's mantle in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, which is cool to see. Michaela Hoover as Camilla, Peter Cabaldi as Thinker. I mean, guys, the list just goes on and on and on.
I think one of the cool things too, it looks like one of the themes of the movie, which you can kind of get the gist of. It's called Suicide Squad, and they're going on these missions that no one else wants to do because they're expendable, basically. And if they don't do their orders, they get their head blown off. So, but it says, I think at the bottom of like the movie posters they've kind of been putting out, it says "Don't get too attached." So it's like a lot of people are going to be dying in this movie, and probably, I would say, if you remember Deadpool 2. Some of the funny deaths in that movie, I think we're probably going to get some funny deaths with some of these people that are like gruesome yet hilarious at the same time. So, yeah, get ready. I think it's going to be pretty fun, and don't get too attached.
And then, you know, at the same time, I guess we can bring this up for a second, is we also have the video game coming out for Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Is it this year, or is that pushed till next year?
I think it's next year, 2022 for the release date, and it's something we're looking forward to. It's by Rocksteady, I think, who did the Arkham games. So it should be really, really good. Looks like it's going to be like multiplayer. You get Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark, and Captain Boomerang to choose from. And obviously, the way we play games like Borderlands and other like co-op type games together, we're looking forward to that one and getting to play with these guys in an actual like really cool game. So
I will say one thing I am kind of worried about is I'm not seeing anything about Katana on here. And she's one of my favorites, absolute favorites. When I first got back into comic books about 2.5, 3 years ago, Katana, from the New 52, was one of the first ones I read coming back. I absolutely love her character. And yeah, not seeing... I
don't think I've seen anything about her either.
I didn't see anything here about that. That's someone, maybe she'll make a surprise appearance, who knows. I would love for her to be in it, so I guess that's the one thing I'm a little bit sad about.
She was in the first one, so I mean it would have been nice, because they did bring a lot of people back to this one from the original, which I thought was a good idea to do. So just to make it kind of feel a little bit more like it's tied into the other one, even though the other one was not great. So but yeah, really looking forward to it. So we'll see what happens, and it comes out later this year, I think August, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's August of this year, so I think it's one of those that will actually be like on HBO Max and probably release in the theater at the same time. So whatever option you want to go with, it should be there. So that'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it.
This is going to be awesome. All right, so I guess moving in to topic 2.
Yeah, go with some of the recent statue and collector news, figure news, stuff like that. So. We'll start out, we'll go with Prime 1 here, and this is a statue that actually has been announced and seen for a while. Everybody was waiting on it for a long time. The Fabok Batman, the 1/3 scale, that looks absolutely amazing. And the reason we've got it in the chat this week is it's been out for a while again, but it just went up on Sideshow last night, which as of today, this is Friday, so it went up Thursday night. And a lot of people were waiting on that because they were scared of the shipping for Prime 1. So they did put the regular edition and the deluxe edition where you can get all the heads on Sideshow. So whichever one you wanted to go with, it's there now. And you'll probably, if you're in the US especially, probably get a little bit of a better shipping quote. So, but yeah, just kind of wanted to talk about this one for a second because it's unbelievable. It's one I'm actually kind of debating getting myself. I really like the pose. I think it's awesome. It's just epic. It's got the cape flowing up in the wind and everything. Incredible. It just looks awesome. And I think if I go with it, I'm probably going to have to go with the deluxe edition because I like the kind of old school like yellow symbol on Batman's chest, which is what comes with the regular. But I like the kind of bigger bat black symbol that goes all the way across his chest, which that only comes with the deluxe edition. So I'll probably, if I do go with it, again, I don't know if I've got space for that one. It's just absolutely huge. I think it's like 40 inches tall.
Jeez,
so, because that cape just goes up so high. But I mean, the deluxe edition comes with the switch out chest symbol, like I said, 4 different heads, one looking straight ahead, one looking down, one looking right, one looking left. So you can literally like pose him however you want to and have him kind of looking in whatever direction you want to. I just think I've been waiting for a Batman. I'm very picky about Batman. I mentioned in our first chat, Batman is kind of where it all started for me. Like when I was 3-4 years old, I was playing with the little Batman action figures, and that's just kind of where my love of like pop culture stuff started. So I've been really picky about getting a Batman statue. I still don't have one in my collection, but this one is the most epic one I've ever seen. I don't even have any 1/3 scales in my collection, but this one seems to kind of be calling my name, and I might just have to kind of make a space for it somewhere. But the good news is I've got time. It doesn't come out until I think maybe August of 2022 or something like that. So like even if you like were to start payment plans now, they would start in January of 2022 with Sideshow because you get 8. So yeah, I've got some time to kind of mull it over, think about it, and see what I want to do. But what do you think about this?
Well, I totally get what you're saying about the old school symbol. I've only personally liked that symbol. I mean, it looks good in comics, in the actual comic books themselves. Not so much on statues unless it's like from the original animated series.
Yeah.
I think that's the only Batman that can really pull that off. But I mean, God, 40 inches, that's going to deter a lot of people from getting this statue. I mean, that is huge. Unless you want to sacrifice like room for 2 other statues to put this in there. But I mean, if you're going to do it with a statue, this would be one to do it with. I mean, it is phenomenal. And looking... We have the other pictures, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Of let's see. Oh, that it's kind of like the same one as Ben Affleck's Batman, and you've seen in other Batmans. It looks amazing with that big bat symbol on there. It changes the statue almost completely. It's kind of the similar mood. The only thing you want to see kind of shining in that would be his belt, I guess. But it fits the dark mood with the smoke coming up on top of the gray, darkish building in the shadows. It really... It makes it look so much better. I like it like that.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing I forgot to mention too with the deluxe, it does come with the extra bust stand. So what you can do is you can actually like with 4 different heads, you can pick like the other head maybe that you like second best and actually put it down on the bust, so you can display the bust somewhere in your room along with the statue too. So pretty cool option. And then the other thing too is you actually can just straight up buy the bust by itself for $150. So if you don't want to go all in and like spend like $1,500 on the deluxe edition or something like that, spend $150. You get the nice kind of regular, just straight ahead head sculpt, and you can just put that in your room and save a lot of money.
And that would be a good thing for a lot of people starting out to do. See what it's like having a piece that size, even though it's just a bust. See how they like it. I remember that's kind of how I started as I got bigger and bigger. But a bust like this would be a good way to see if the stuff of this size is good for you, for sure.
Because it's a 1/3 scale bust. So, and then we'll stick with Prime 1 too. Another kind of big announcement the last couple weeks. They're really kind of diving into their Lord of the Rings line. And the one that was most recently shown and has gone up for pre-order is the Frodo and Gollum statue, which I really like Lord of the Rings. It's one of my favorite kind of film trilogies of all time. Really, really cool. You have to pick and choose with space, and I'm more kind of like Star Wars, Marvel, DC, which are already 3 big universes, so I can't like dip into Lord of the Rings too, or I would highly consider this statue and the other ones that have been released too, the Aragorn, the Legolas that have been shown, the Sauron, I mean, the Gandalf, where he's on the bridge that you shall not pass against the Balrog. The Balrog, yeah, I was going blank on that. But yeah, I think this Frodo and Gollum statue is really, really cool. You've got kind of like the glowing glow stick almost in his hand, and his sword, and then Gollum kind of creepily peering over his shoulder. I think it's when they're about to take the little detour to Shelob, which again is a great kind of classic scene. So I think the details on this thing, as with most Prime 1 stuff, is absolutely amazing. Maybe could have tweaked, and they still could tweak Frodo's portrait maybe a little bit.
Oh, you're right. I didn't notice till.
It doesn't perfectly nail his portrait. It's not like far off. Like I think with some of the pictures, like where you kind of go to the side, it looks more there, but like maybe straight on, it's not quite there.
I think it's the nose.
Yeah, so I think they could maybe tweak that a little bit, which Prime 1 has done in the past. Like they've shown something, and then by the time it came out, it actually looked better. The Gollum, I think, is like spot on. I mean, it is just absolutely incredible. And again, the fact that you get both of them in the same statue is really, really cool because they were so intertwined throughout the films. So again, I think it's an awesome piece. Would be one that would be really cool to pick up. It's not going to be for my collection. But what do you think about it?
Oh, I mean, you nailed it right on the head. It looks spot on, except for I wouldn't have noticed the face until you mentioned it, and now that you zoom in, it is a little. I think it's part of like the chin too. It's just the chin and the nose are so pronounced, and everything else is just so quiet compared to those things. but I'm sure knowing Prime 1 fans out there, they've already given them their
Oh
input,
yeah,
so.
they're getting all the comments
Yeah.
on all the posts and stuff. So yeah, maybe they'll do a little
Yeah.
fixing on that.
But I mean, everything else, I mean, looks great, and I love the touch with the spider web down there
Yeah.
on the right side. That looks pretty phenomenal. That's going to be an awesome statue for a lot of Lord of the Rings fans out there, especially with all the other stuff you just mentioned that they put out. That the line is just incredible.
Yes, yeah,
awesome
for sure. So we'll move over to Sideshow. This just went up for pre-order yesterday. Actually, this was on a Thursday, and it is the Scarlet Witch premium format. It's the comic version, but they're kind of riding that wave of popularity from the WandaVision show, of course.
As they should.
As they should, because that was a very good show. But yeah, so this was something that was actually announced back in the 12 Days of Sideshow, kind of around Christmas time, and they had just shown the word Scarlet Witch, so we hadn't seen anything yet. So the images went up recently, and now it's up for pre-order. I think it's a really, really good statue. Again, comic depiction. Couple of things that I might change about it. The more I go into my collecting journey, the more I move away from mixed media. I just really like fully sculpted statues. And as Sideshow typically does with big capes like this, they did go with the mixed media cape. So it is nice if you're trying to save space, because then you can just kind of use the wires and narrow it down to where it's not as wide as it is in a lot of the pictures. So it is a space saver with the width. But one thing I don't really know why they did, it's 29 inches tall, which for a premium format is huge. Like, that is absolutely massive. So it's very, like, if you make the cape narrow, it's very narrow width-wise and depth-wise, so that's good. But 29 inches, like, I mean, you're really going to have to, if you've got it, like, in a display case where you're having to adjust shelves, you're really going to have to move that shelf up to make space for this, because with her hands over her head and then, like, all the power that she's wielding, and then it is pretty cool. It does have like the Ultron head like in the middle of her power, like she's like ripping him apart, which is very cool. But again, I just think that's too tall for a premium format. I think the female head sculpts that they do for Sideshow are always amazing. Again, classic comic costume. They've done both, like in the comics where she kind of has like the pink spandex on her legs and her arms, which is the case with this one. And then sometimes in the comics, you'll see where she doesn't have anything on her arms and just on her legs. So they did legs and arms on this one. You can kind of see like the material and the way it kind of bends and everything, like on her legs and arms like that. So again, very cool statue. Congrats to those of you who are getting it. I think it is very good. I worry most about the height. It's just kind of going to be tough to display, I think. Yeah. But what do you think?
I think even though there are a couple of issues with it, but I think the dedicated Scarlet Witch fans out there are going to get this, no question.
Yeah.
But yeah, 29 inches, man. I think about some of the statues I have that are tall, and this one is like 10 inches taller. It's nuts, man. I mean, almost a 30-inch premium format statue is insane. I think they should have gone like with her hands doing the magic. I always loved when she did magic in the Marvel movies, going like this, kind of in front of her face, like this. And that always looked cool to me. So that could have saved some space. I think they should have done that. Yeah. But I mean, other than that, I mean, of course, you could talk about the fabric versus sculpted cape all day. But I mean, it is a pretty great statue, not gonna lie. And you've always talked about it before, how they always nail the face sculpts with women at Sideshow. Like, it's amazing. It's truly amazing.
Yeah,
so.
It's a great overall statue. Yeah. I think her hair kind of going all out and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good concept. And I do even like kind of the power and the ripping the Ultron head apart and everything. But when you think, like, if you look at my Venom Prime 1 statue over there,
oh, yeah.
It's about that height almost. So it's just so tall.
That's
so
crazy.
Tall. But again, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure, I don't remember the exact kind of release window, but this will probably be coming out more toward the end of the year. If I had to guess, maybe start of 2022. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one get into collectors' hands. I think it's a very, very well done statue. So then moving on, we're actually going to jump over to Queen Studios, which they did something this week that was really, really cool. I thought it was kind of an awesome idea, and it surprised me at the same time too. So in Queen Studios, guys, they are coming on, man. I mean, they've got these amazing life-size busts. They're getting into the quarter scale game. They just released an awesome Mark 7 Iron Man, and their Iron Spider from the movie that they just did. I mean, they are like going all out right now, and their detail, like, in some ways exceeds like any other company in some ways right now. So I think like they're bursting on the scene, and I think they're about to start taking the reins in a lot of situations. So what they've done this week is they put out this picture, and it was 15 concepts for a comic quarter scale Batman statue. And they said, at first I was like, oh my gosh, is this like a diorama they're about to release? I was like, this is absolutely insane. But actually what they're doing is they are allowing the fans to vote on their favorite concepts of the 15. So they numbered them 1 through 15, let you vote in the comments on their page. And they're going to take, I believe, the top 4 and put them like into the finals. And then I believe kind of make a decision from there about which one they go with to actually produce. And then they're also going to let the fans name the statue, which I thought was kind of cool too. And whoever's name gets chosen from the comments, they get the statue for free. So I thought that was kind of a pretty cool thing. I've never seen a major statue company do something like this. So amazing concepts. I would say I probably like about 4 of them. We're not going to go through all of them right now, but I thought there were about 4 that I liked really, really well. So what do you think about this?
Oh, I mean, it's just... Queen Studios, like you said, they're changing the game right now big time. I mean, coming in and doing something like this on top of everything else they've done, you've started to see kind of like Sideshow or Prime One or someone come up with a new concept of a statue, and then Queen Studios... Cut! Queen Studios is definitely changing the game, that is for sure. They've just... what's crazy about Queen Studios is you see Sideshow, Prime One, and other companies come up with a concept, and Queen Studios, I mean, not gonna lie, they go in and they're like, I think we can one-up them. Like, I seriously think they're trying to do that, but I mean, that's what you're supposed to do in this game. Yeah. We need these companies one-upping each other so the quality gets raised. I mean, that's exactly how we're gonna get. That's how we're gonna get great stuff. Yep. But this idea is just, it's crazy. I see like probably 3 or 4. Shoot, maybe 5. I mean, honestly, there's not one you can really go wrong with. It's crazy as the one up top. It's like taking the Fabok Batman to a whole new level. No, it's gonna be huge. That's crazy. Yeah. But I mean, this is so cool, man, and I'm excited to see. Like, hopefully, we can find out who wins the contest, who comes up with the name of the statue and gets a free statue. That'll be a cool thing to see for sure. You got so many guys trying to come up with some crazy stuff out there. Yeah. So that's going to be exciting to see for sure, man. But this is just, I mean, probably the statue you see the most of is Batman. So I think this will be a good way to get something new out there for Batman for sure. Yeah, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's cool. It'll be cool to kind of see how it all unfolds. So very cool. So yeah, I just wanted to announce that. Great job, Queen Studios. Y'all are killing it right now. And then I want to move over to Hot Toys. I forgot about this. Actually, so we've got, obviously, with the Snyder Cut, which I was very much a fan of. I thought it was really, really cool. And kudos to all the fans and everybody for pushing to get that out, because I think the final product ended up being really amazing and it was fun to watch. But 2 of the really cool character designs from that movie, the Nightmare Batman and the Black Suit Superman, they went up as a like combo, like deluxe deal from Hot Toys, where you can get them both in the same package basically, and they both look incredible. They're both really awesome concepts. They're probably the 2 top kind of favorite concepts of things that are sort of different than your typical kind of superhero look from this movie. So people were pretty excited about that, and I'll let you go with the news that we've got for the channel according to these guys.
Yeah, so Tyler, many of you have seen, he's been in a lot of videos with me. We're going to try to include him on the channel even more. We love having him on. He's a goofy dude with a great personality. But he's only been collecting Pokemon cards. He's never really gotten into statues or anything like that. But he decided that this is going to be his gateway into it. I'm so, like, he texted me, he was getting
pulling him in, guys.
Yeah, we're
pulling him
in, man. And so he was like, yeah, I think I'm going to get this. I'm going to take a break from collecting cards and some other stuff, and I'm going to pay this off in a month. And I was like, well, dude, we're having it on the channel. Yeah. And so he was all about that. But this will be a really cool Hot Toy. I think whether or not you like Hot Toys, this is going to be something you want to see. I mean, shoot, even the Black Suit Superman makes me like Superman. A little bit. I'm not a big Superman fan, guys. I'm all about Batman and his universe when it comes to DC, but these are really cool. They're so cool, man.
Yeah, the Nightmare Batman 2 is actually like a re-release, so they had that one before from the original Justice League movie because he was in that too. So they brought him back, so the original one sold out, so now you can buy the set to get him if you missed him the first time around. And I love the Nightmare look is like really amazing. Prime 1 did a statue with that look too, and then Black Suit Superman was something people wanted in the first round of Justice League and didn't get. So now that he's appeared this time around, everybody's really excited about it. The concept looks great. And I think this is going to be a really cool set, and it will be lots of fun to review for the channel having two figures there. So, and we'll stick with Snyder Cut because someone else who's been in the statue game for a while, Weta, but they typically kind of stick more to Lord of the Rings stuff. They're jumping in. You actually have a Borderlands statue from them.
I've got my Zane.
Yep, the Zane. But yeah, so they are jumping in on this Snyder Cut big time. They are going quarter scale statues, and one of the first they've actually, I think the Black Suit Superman quarter scale from them has already gone up for pre-order, if I'm not mistaken. And then they've already teased a Joker from the last scene, the kind of credits type scene at the end of the Snyder Cut. And then the one we're going to talk about today is the Darkseid on Throne. And guys, this looks awesome. It was amazing having Darkseid in the movie this time around because I missed him last time. I think the concept was really, really cool. And we know how people get about throne pieces. They get really excited. And having a Darkseid on Throne from the Snyder Cut, I think this is going to be a really, really cool piece. And I'm trying to remember, I think he's about $1,400 and an edition size of 600. So this is going to be a low edition size, costly statue, but it is a throne piece of a big character. So I think this could, if you're kind of a throne type collector, or if you just kind of want it as like a standalone piece, the detail looks amazing. Weta has a great history. They've been in the statue game for a long time with Lord of the Rings. And I think this is going to look really, really good and be an awesome product. Again, if you're a fan of the character, or if you like kind of the throne stuff, I would definitely recommend going for this one because I think it's going to be a really, really cool statue. But what do you think?
Man, I mean, and I'll go ahead and say, guys, I have not finished the Snyder Cut yet. We actually had a huge storm come through where we live, and it's knocked out my internet for almost 2 days now. And I was supposed to watch it 2 days ago so we could talk about it here. Then I started watching it today. Storm still affecting everything around us, and knocked out my internet again. And so I've only seen part 1, but I mean, of course, you know, with everything on YouTube nowadays, I did watch some of the Darkseid clips, not gonna lie. I think this is the coolest looking Darkseid I've ever seen. Just compared to comics, animated series, whatever. I love his look. He looks menacing. He gives you the same feeling Thanos does in Marvel. Like, he's here to take over and you're not going to stop him. And this piece, I mean, dude, this thing, it's going to be sold out so quickly, I
think it is too. People are all about this movie right now. It already got, I think I saw it broke a record. Like, it had the hashtag restore the Snyderverse because they're wanting to kind of keep Snyder in the mix and let him kind of give his picture of the DC universe. So I think it was like 1.5 million tweets, like hashtags or something. I mean, they are like
crazy. Fans
are pushing it even more than they were before, trying to get the Snyder Cut released. So yeah, I think these figures and statues coming out from this movie are going to be very popular. And again, when you have that low edition size and it sells out, typically if you're someone who thinks you might sell down the road, usually you see that value go up. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is a really cool statue, cool concept. I like how he's kind of got that leaning forward, like menacing look, and he just has, like Drew said, kind of that intimidating feel that Darkseid is supposed to give you. So again, I'm excited to see this one.
I think we're gonna see him and Thanos displayed next to each other in a lot of rooms. Like, people that collect just Marvel and DC, like, literally have that in the middle of their room as like that middle centerpiece together. I can just see it now. I can't wait to see some of that stuff with you guys on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure some of you guys watching are getting this statue for sure.
Yeah.
So, oh man.
Yeah. So very, very cool. So I guess we'll kind of transition into topic 3 here. I'm going to let you take the reins on this one. We're both excited about it.
We are both very excited.
It's going to be awesome.
Well, jumping into topic 3, This is one that we're going to have a lot of fun with this one, discussing this.
Yes.
Austin and I have been dedicated Borderlands fans since day one. I remember texting Austin about this. When the first Borderlands came out, I was like, dude, you're getting this game with me and we're playing it. And it's unbelievable to see where the game started and where it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love this game. And now they're making a movie. It's so crazy. I think of so many other games where there have been talks about a movie happening, and then it sometimes happens, sometimes it doesn't. A lot of times it falls through. But then you look at, like, I heard about the first casting. Cate Blanchett as Lilith. When they got her on board for Lilith, I was like, whoa. Okay, this is...
It's for real.
Yeah, this is happening. And a lot of people are kind of upset at that casting. They think she's a little too old. I think she's perfect. And I think she's going to bring that maturity that Lilith has. She's a leader. And then we got Jack Black as Claptrap. I mean, that really, you can't beat Jack Black as Claptrap.
He's
got like saying Jack Black as Claptrap is almost like a tongue twister.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you've played the games, Claptrap's personality is ridiculous. So, like, Jack Black, I don't know if there is a better casting for
not
Claptrap.
at all. And then actually this casting, I think this is my favorite casting so far. Well, second favorite after who we just heard was your boy.
Oh, man.
But we'll talk about this one first. Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis. I mean, just looking at her picture with the short hair like Tannis, I mean, I think that's an unbelievable casting. I don't know who figured that out, but kudos to you, man, for figuring that out. Then we've got Ariana Greenblatt as Tiny Tina. We know nothing about her, but, you know, she's a new upcoming actress. And the good thing is she's really young, which means she's probably, in order to know this character, probably going to play all the games.
The fact that Tiny Tina's in the movie, too, is incredible.
Oh, my gosh.
I was just excited to see that, even though I don't really know much about the actress, because that's an incredible character from the game. So, really excited about that.
We quote her, I think,
all the time.
More than any other character. She just has so many great things, like climb the pipe to the train, or you'll go insane. What? That's a rap song I wrote. And we're going to skip one of the castings. We're going to talk about that at the end. Yeah. But we just found out. So Austin hasn't seen Creed 2 yet.
I've not seen it yet.
But no. We just found this out before we dove into this video. I'm probably going to butcher his name a little bit, but I'm still going to do the best I can. So Florian Montaigne, I think is how you say it. But, y'all, he was Ivan Drago's son from Rocky in Creed 2. And he is Krieg, and I think when Austin looks up this guy a little more, he's gonna be so excited.
Krieg is my favorite character.
Yes.
So I like that. I mean, Borderlands 2, playing as Krieg, that's like ideal Borderlands to me. Like, that's like the best memories from the game. So just, I heard rumblings that Krieg was in the movie, but I told Drew before we saw this casting, I was like, I don't know. I mean, that they could easily change the script, but then we saw there was actually an official casting made. So I was like, yes, Krieg, he's in it.
Yeah. The funny thing to me about this is, okay, so this guy's huge. He's like 6'5", 6'6", which makes you wonder, and he's absolutely jacked. Like, dude can probably bench press 500 pounds. Who the heck, if Brick is in this movie, who the heck are they going to get?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to think of who they could get. I mean, some ideas come to mind, but they're going to have to, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to pull that off.
And the thing with Krieg, too, like, if his body style is sort of the same, he was more of like a lean jacked as opposed to Brick's just like humongous, like steroid jacked.
I wonder if, I'm trying to think, I don't know. I think Florian is actually a really good build. He's got that really good V taper going on, which is what Krieg has. Just super athletic and jacked at the same time, which is, I mean, goodness great. I can't believe how great these castings are, except for Roland.
I'm not going to say it.
For those of you that don't know, okay, I'll just put it this way. So one of our best friends, he's not a diehard Borderlands fan, but he's played the games a little bit. So I said, who do you think would be a great Roland? And he said, oh, I'd pick The Rock. And he mentioned other actors like that, you know, big, strong guys who would be an awesome leader for the Sanctuary crew. And then I didn't know yet. I think it was a week or two ago when we go out to eat every Thursday, and Austin told me Kevin Hart is playing Roland. Nothing against Kevin Hart. One of the funniest dudes ever. He's an amazing person. Does a lot of charity work. Really cool dude. But I'm sorry, Kevin Hart. You're not Roland. I don't know what else to say. Like, and the funny thing is, you said too, he was like, oh, he could have been Claptrap as well.
Yeah. I mean, that was like behind Jack Black. Kevin Hart was in the next spot for Claptrap. So, but yeah, gosh.
I don't know. And the thing is, Kevin Hart, I mean, what is he, 5'5", 5'4"?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, he's pretty small.
Like, you see Roland next to Krieg or Brick. He's not a small guy.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing this one. Like, it could ruin it. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm a diehard Borderlands fan, so I want this to be perfect.
And we know the track record of video game movies. Like, it's not very good.
Yeah.
So I mean, and they're getting good actors for this. So it's like we're holding out hope. But man,
it was like nailed casting. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't see it unless they put him on stilts and they make him. I'm sorry, I'm a short guy too, so I can say that. And then his voice has to go like 5 octaves lower.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. If let's put it this way, if Kevin Hart pulls this off, my respect for him as an actor is going to go even higher. Because I like him as an actor.
Yes.
Like, he's good. Like Drew said, he's funny.
We love Kevin Hart.
I love both Jumanji movies. He's hilarious in those. Like the comparison pictures I've seen, because you always know when people get cast as like a video game character or a comic character, they put like a real shot of them next to the character. And the main one I've seen is a Roland video game shot from Borderlands 2 with him in his Jumanji outfit. with like the shorts and the hat and everything. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. But again, if he pulls this off, it's going to be pretty impressive by him. I'll have to give him credit.
I mean, shoot, if he pulls this off, he deserves an Oscar.
Pretty
I mean, I don't know, man. Oh, yeah. But we are looking forward, though, to see, how many more characters they're going to add and then who the actors are. I mean, with the way they're going, man, just with these actors, actors are attracted to working with other actors and actresses. So we could see some amazing castings. I mean, I'd love to see a Maya.
Yep.
I'd love to see a Zero. And I'd love to see a Mordecai. I think those are the other big ones that everyone in the community really cares about. Zero is my favorite. I think Mordecai would be tied for both of us, our second favorite. We both love Mordecai. Yeah. But yeah, if they get a Zero, what's that? I actually know who I would want to be Zero. I'd want it to be Ray Park. Just because I don't know anything about G.I. Joe, but I know he was the ninja in that. He's Darth Maul. He'd be perfect for Zero.
Don't have to have a lot of lines.
Yeah, that is true. I think he would pull that off. I mean, but this is something that I just can't believe they're moving more and more forward with this. This is... do you know, has there been any speculation on the release date yet?
I don't remember, but I think the fact that they're actually casting and all these like kind of big actors, I think they're moving, I want to say 2022. Again, I'm not exactly sure on the date, but I just think this could be awesome. And kind of like we talked about with Suicide Squad, I think it could kind of be that sort of type of movie, Guardians of the Galaxy, where you kind of throw all these kind of cool characters together. And there's comedy and there's a lot of violence. Yeah. And if they can get just kind of a decent story with all these characters, I think it could be like a really good movie. And I'm not even sure kind of how they're going to follow, because obviously the game has its story with Borderlands 1, 2, and 3 and the pre-sequel. And I don't know if they're going to try to fit this into that, or if they're just going to kind of take the characters from those and do their own thing. But either way, I hope it's a success, because again, with how big of fans we are, we want it to be a good movie, so we had to talk about it.
Sure. Man, yeah. We could talk about this all day. I mean, we quote this game more than like half the movies we watch. And for those of you that have never played Borderlands, imagine Guardians of the Galaxy as a video game. I mean, that's the way I describe it to people, and at times it's even funnier than Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, there are some times, I remember actually in Borderlands 2, there was one time Tiny Tina was talking. Y'all, Austin and I had to put the control down for like 10 minutes. I was crying. My face was wet. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, we've cried many times laughing playing this game. I mean, it's a loot and shoot type game that has a pretty solid story and is very, very funny. And violent. So, but yeah, it's great. It's again, we've mentioned it, and I think our collection tours too. It's like basically our favorite video game franchise that we've ever played, especially with it being a co-op game that we can play together. There's no telling how many hours we've put into those games. So yeah, I hope this is a success because it would be amazing if it is.
If you could pick what time period between games, for me, I'll go ahead and say mine. It would be sometime during the Borderlands 2 time, because I would love to see Handsome Jack. Just because I think I tell people all the time, I'm like, y'all don't understand, one of the best villains, not just in video game history, but in all history. Like, I put Handsome Jack up there with, like, Darth Vader, Thanos, all those guys. I mean, he was amazing. Yeah, and they don't have to cast anybody for him. Just take Damian Clark and make him Handsome Jack. He looks like him. He's the voice. You don't need anything else. It would be perfect.
Yeah, it would be awesome. And we've met him too, by the way. That was awesome getting to meet him at a con. Yeah. But I think I would go like right before Borderlands 2.
Okay.
So
yeah, I get that.
Between 1 and 2, all these characters that we know are going to be in this one, they would be there. We don't know exactly what they would be doing during that time because they kind of left that time period. They referenced some stuff that happened kind of leading into that, like Roland's relationship with Tiny Tina and how that kind of, but they could really kind of fill in some gaps and I think that'd be a great.
That is actually true. And you hear a lot about Handsome Jack's history in that time period. They kind of fill it in, I guess, a little bit with the pre-sequel.
Yeah, but you could go instead of like what all was happening up there, what was happening.
That would be
down
cool.
Planet side.
There's so much they could do. I no matter what though, I think the thing that worries me the most about this, if it's like they take all these great characters, but the story isn't canon with the games, that would kind of hurt me a little bit as a diehard fan.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go that route.
So I don't know. Fingers crossed. We'll just have to see what happens, but I think you guys have listened to us talk enough tonight. And I kind of got really excited there talking about Borderlands. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while in this chat. And then, guys, we love doing this. Hopefully you all enjoyed this one as much as the first one. We're going to be talking about different topics throughout. Like, there will be no there will be no squad goals chat. That's the exact same as another one. It's going to be different every single time. So, I guess that's it for my closing thoughts. Is there anything else you'd like to
I mean, again, we just love doing these things. It's just kind of a chill setting. We kind of have a few topics to talk about, and we'll just kind of run through them. Again, it's anything pop culture. I mean, we love, like, comics, books, movies, games, obviously, collectibles, and you've seen a bunch of our other kind of collectible type videos too. So we'll take things that are maybe going on in like the recent news or just things we're excited about, and we'll just talk about it and have fun with it. And that's just the kind of stuff that we talk about anyways. So we're like, well, why not just film it sometimes? Yeah. So we love doing these. And again, just thank you to all of you for who've already subscribed. Again, we just really appreciate you. We're really growing this thing and just want to kind of make an awesome, just fun community with the Collector Squad channel and everything. And if you haven't subscribed, we would love it if you do. Just hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. We've got content like this coming out all the time. And again, hit a like and give us some comments, guys. Like, we love to discuss things with you. So, I mean, we'll check the comments and we'll talk with you about maybe it's something about these topics that we talked about, or maybe it's something else. Just hit us up. We love talking about all this kind of stuff. And again, just always remember, collect what you like, not what's popular. Thanks, guys.
Let me start again. So, I think this is an amazing idea by Queen Studios. It's something obviously.